Hey guys, it's the Sellouts.
Yep. What up, guys? We're
You're
bringing.
not gonna do anything. You're not gonna be like, "Hey guys." You know we need to work on an intro. Anyway, hey guys, it's the Sellouts podcast with
Sean.
and AJ.
Today's episode.
Oh, well, and Jameson. Say hi, Jameson. Yeah, he's shy. And today we're
Today we're gonna be talking about just personal stories, story times, anything like that. Not like those shitty YouTube story times. No, these stories actually did 100% happen.
Though I do say we should talk about that later. Yeah, so we're just going to talk about a bunch of stories. You know, we have a bunch of stories to talk about, stuff to do. We're going to talk about Reddit stories. We're going to talk about our stories, school stories, wacky stories, depressing stories, just played odd stories. This is like a story time sellout edition.
Yeah. So AJ's gonna kick it out with some school stories that he's experienced.
Oh,
All right.
do I have some?
All right, so AJ, you can start it out by telling about your favorite substitute teacher, your favorite anti-racist, anti-everything teacher that set you down in a circle to talk about racism. You remember that story?
Yeah, I know, but she wasn't my substitute teacher. She was like my actual full-time teacher.
Oh, I thought she said she was a substitute.
She wasn't a substitute teacher. She was my full-time.
Well,
all right, anyway,
besides the point.
Anyway, yeah, all right. So I call this one just. Yeah, I don't have a title for it. It just, I think it just speaks for itself. You want to lower the Halo volume?
Yeah. Sorry.
By the way, like we're playing Halo 3 in the background.
Yeah.
Quality Halo. Now, so the story starts out. It was in my English class in high school. The school will not be named. We're just gonna keep up making.
We'll call it for the case of the story. It'll be known as Adolf Hitler's School for
Gifted youngsters.
gifted youngsters.
Yeah, Xavier's no, fucking, I'm not gonna use Adolf. Whatever. All right. So anyway, like the Friendship High School, whatever. Just I had an English class, and in this class, we were reading the book "The Hate You Give." If you don't know what the book's about, it's basically about police brutality and like related stuff, like about Black Lives Matter and whatnot. Anyway, that's not really that important. It's not relevant to the story, but what happens is one day everyone walks into class, and we notice all our desks are gone. We also notice that the only thing in the room that we can actually see is on the projector, and it's like from the ADL. It's the Pyramid of Hate. Yeah, I can hear you laughing, so I'll get to that.
I love how I like how she pulls up the hate pyramid from the Anti-Defamation League. That gets me every time when I hear the story.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead, continue.
Yeah. So basically, as I was saying, like the teacher makes us sit down in a circle, and like kindergarten style. We're all wondering what's going on here. What could this be about? The teacher sits down and goes, I'm disappointed in all of you. Have none of you learned a thing about this book? Like she's holding The Hate You Give. Like in front of us. We're like, what do we do? And you know, it's like keep saying like. Anyway, the teacher goes like, well, we ask what do we do, and she's like, I'm disappointed in all of you. You've completely missed the message of this book. I can't believe you would have done this. One of you out here, I am disappointed in you. And everyone's like looking around like, well, what did someone do? So she holds out the book and opens it to the very first page, the front cover. Not the cover, I meant like the first page of the book. And before her eyes, before God's eyes, is the N-word written in perfect cursive. Absolute perfect like this was some of the most perfect cursive you have ever seen in your entire life. Like this person had trained like I think they got out a ruler so they could measure it accurately.
I like how they took the time to like
they took the time. Sorry.
Go ahead.
They took the time to just basically write out the N-word in perfect cursive, perfect length. like they're like, I'm gonna be a racist, but I'm gonna be, I'm gonna have some class to this. Yeah, I'm gonna put some work in it. I'm gonna show my work in this. It was like so jarring. Like someone took the time to just write it out in cursive, and like we didn't take these books home, so some person must have been doing it in class and no one noticed, which I find hilarious. But like the truth goes that the teacher wasn't finding this funny. Unfortunately, I kind of found it funny, and I let out a little laugh because it is generally shocking, and I did let out a laugh because it was that funny. Not that the idea is funny, more just like the idea that someone is like, you know what? Fuck this book, and just writes the N word out in cursive. The teacher's like, do you think this is funny? And I respond with a little bit. That pissed her off, and she's like, out of the classroom right now. And so I get up and leave, and then like I hear a couple other kids laugh, and then she gets mad at them too, but she doesn't kick them out like she did me. Anyway, I'm outside. Like, keep in mind, this is senior year of high school, and she's making me sit outside as if I was like in kindergarten. And while I'm listening, like while I'm leaning against the door, I'm just listening to the class go on. All I hear is just her going on about like, oppressed peoples, yada yada yada. But then one thing she drops that did make me chuckle is like, there's many oppressed people in the world, many oppressed races, such of which is women. I don't.
Because we all know women are the most oppressed race.
I don't believe they're a race.
What are you talking about?
But yeah, that was the end of the story. I eventually did just walk back in class when she was giving me the stink eye the entire time. But I found, looking back, it's still funny. And we still don't know. They never found out who did it. And I'm sure, like now, there's going to be this one person that's bragging about it. But I have no idea who it was.
I just like the fact that what's it called, the kid took the time to, what the hell, might as well be racist, but I gotta be perfectly racist.
Well, no one liked the book. I don't think anyone in our class liked that book.
Well, I mean, who would really like that book? When you really think about it, you're sitting there listening to basically people whine about the fact that they're oppressed and that they're racist and
Hey, we're not just in the political episode. This isn't the political episode.
I'm just explaining and talk in general. Why would anyone like to read that? I mean, I always found it dumb with the idea of how teachers, they pick like the most boring books for you to read, and they're shocked that kids don't like to read. And
I will say, yeah, the book was super boring. Even if like you like those type of stories, like if you're into like social justice like books, you're probably not going to enjoy it because it really was super boring.
Well, even then,
like the entire, besides like the most of this book is just talking. That's all this story really is. So even if like nothing really happens,
they never pick, like with teachers, they never pick like books that would actually get a kid invested. They always try and pick, oh, we're reading the classics. And they try and they think that bringing up the fact that they're reading the classics is going to get kids excited to actually read.
I'll just describe what the teacher looked like. She looked like the most stereotypical like Californian teacher ever.
Yeah.
Like what you would imagine like some liberal arts teacher looks like, even though it wasn't liberal arts class. But like the stereotypical barista, like young millennial teacher.
She fat?
No.
Oh.
Just pretty thin.
Then she was skinny and she had, let me guess, she had short hair?
Yes.
Colored?
No.
Okay.
But anyway, I remember in the class too. I didn't even have that teacher to begin with. The previous teacher got pregnant and had to go on maternity leave.
Yeah.
Which I did enjoy her because we were like learning actual interesting books. Like interesting to me anyway.
Well, that's why I thought that was the substitute, because I remember you saying that your
teacher... technically she was a substitute just for the rest of the year.
So she was a extended substitute.
No, we're not gonna. That's not really what she was a teacher, but I remember what other stuff in that class. Not like dissing her, because there was one we did that was like, what's the word? What's a crime drama? What's the type of show that like everyone's into is crime related? True crime. That's it.
True crime.
Yeah, we did a true crime like project where we had to listen to this one case, and then we had to debate if the person was guilty or not.
Was it the one where it was about that Muslim dude and
The Korean girl.
Yeah,
The
that
Muslim
killed
dude and the Korean girl.
Yeah, that.
It was like whether he did it or not.
Yeah, I did the exact same thing.
Yeah, we did that.
Who do you think he actually did it?
I did to be. I.
To be honest, and this has nothing to do who he is. I honestly do think that he committed the murder.
I don't really have an opinion. I chose. I basically, because I want to be a contrarian. Everyone said he was innocent, so I'm like, I'll be the one person for extra credit that'll say he's guilty.
I honestly do think he was guilty with the evidence.
I don't know. I really don't know.
But the evidence that's stacked up against him, I honestly do think that he killed her.
Yeah.
Because throughout the entire podcast, they could never find concise evidence that could take down the fact that he could have done it.
Yeah, I would have to look back at the case if I like muster the urge to do it.
I honestly don't really care. The only part that I really enjoyed about that project.
Well, it's a 40-year-old case.
Well, I know, but the only part that I liked about that project, because it was like an entire lesson, is that at the end of the lesson, you got to write your own crime drama novel in my
We didn't
class.
get to do that. That sounds fun as hell.
Yeah, my teacher had us do that. You wrote your own crime drama story.
We didn't do it. We just had to write it like an essay if we thought he did it or not, and like compile evidence.
Yeah, I didn't do that.
Of course, since I chose the guilty option, there's not that much evidence that he was guilty. One of my sources was fucking Reddit. That was literally one of my sources was Reddit, and I changed it up to some, to not mention it was Reddit. I just called it a source of the online variety, I think it was.
But yeah, we got to write we skipped the essay and we wrote our own crime story, and let me tell you, that was some of the most fun I've ever had in school ever.
We didn't get to do that, even though, like, on the Reddit subject, by the way. Like, I did have it linked to the Reddit page, but I just put the title of internet variety of a certain website. I just never named it as Reddit. But in like the links below of like sources, it was Reddit.
I mean, I love how you just used Reddit.
My teacher did, because there was no sources saying he was guilty.
There was none. Everyone just wanted to say that he was innocent because everyone.
Because maybe he was innocent. I don't know.
We don't know. I mean, I haven't looked at this case.
You really shouldn't say he was guilty. Because
that's just. I'm just going off because that's what I went off of.
I did it to be contrarian, but because that's probably really fucked up if he really is innocent and like his life is ruined.
Well,
but
besides the point, we got to write. I based my story off of what's L.A. Noire, and that was awesome.
You cheap piece of shit.
Well, I didn't steal a story.
You didn't steal the story. You said you based it off L.A. Noire.
I based the stylizing of the storytelling.
So it's just a noir. Say it's a noir novel then. We didn't do anything like that.
Well, yeah, because your teacher sucks.
Yeah, that sounds super cool.
It was super cool.
I remember, like, the only thing creative I ever got in any of my classes was just like a drawing thing, but it always had to accompany with an essay. So it was, in the end, it was never that fun at all.
Yeah, we got to do some drawing in that class.
In my English class, like, we had to, like draw something that scared you. Or a monster. Draw a monster that would make people afraid.
And you drew Jameson.
Yeah, I fucking drew. No, I just drew someone, like, in a generic, like hoodie and mask. I didn't draw Jeff the Killer, but now thinking back.
You drew Jeff the Killer?
I didn't, but this is the way I described it. You might as well have been.
You drew Carlos.
I drew Carlos. Yeah, I tried to. What I was thinking is like, what's scary? Real people. Real people are scary. Everyone's gonna do monsters. I'm gonna do something smart. I'm gonna get extra credit for this. I'm gonna put this dude in like a hoodie and hat, and just like wears a mask, because that's creepy. Like the Zodiac Killer. I'll do that. Or what the Unabomber looked like.
What grade did you get? Cut to the chase.
I think I got a 90.
Oh wow.
I don't know.
So what was the irony that you were building up to?
The irony? What do you mean the irony? The irony is it kind of looked like Jeff the Killer. Is that irony enough, man?
Yes.
That's irony enough. I accidentally drew Jeff the Killer. I committed my own worst sin.
Because we all know Jeff the Killer is one of the scariest things on the internet.
Shut up. We're not talking about Jeff the Killer. We talked about that in the Halloween episode. I don't.
I was making a joke.
Sorry, but yeah, there's not that much I really recall of substance in that class. It was just mainly a normal class.
Well, is there any other stories that you can tell? Because I mean,
of course, I have plenty of school stories. Where should I hit now? You know what? Here's a new story. My school's adventure with weed.
Oh my gosh. We got plenty of stories that have to do with weed at Gulf Breeze High because apparently everyone there was a pothead.
Well, good job. You just doxed the name.
Not Gulf Breeze High. You know, I don't care. It's not like anyone's gonna care.
Yeah, fair enough.
We'll just come up with different names for the people that we see there.
Yeah, I think that's the most important part.
I mean, the school doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
So just continue with the story.
Anyway, so number one, keep in mind a lot of the kids here are white, like pasty white, and yeah, everyone's drug of choice was weed. Like full, like marijuana, pot, and like normally what a lot of people would just do is like they'll get like some medical marijuana, and then just pretend it's and then try to resell it, thinking they're hot shit, when they're not. But there's one instance I'll talk about this. So I'll first start with a lesser crime. We're in the middle of my English class. Yeah, that English class. We were doing a reading. I forget what we were reading that day, but that's really not important. What is important is one kid stands up and goes, "Excuse me, teacher, I need to go to the bathroom." And the teacher goes, "Sure, you can go." And he gets up and leaves. We don't see him for nearly the rest of the class period. The teacher starts to realizes something's off, and it's like, "Where's so and so?" And everyone doesn't know where he is, so she goes looking for him. You know where he was? You know where he was?
I'm listening.
They found him in his truck smoking weed, and when they found him, he got upset that they were looking for him. Like, dude, why are you looking for me?
I don't know, because you're out of class.
The teacher goes, "Well, yeah, you were in class, dumbass. You can't just walk out to smoke weed. There's a time and a place, man."
Yeah. And if you're gonna do, I don't understand what people's obsession is of trying to.
Also, it's illegal here, so I don't know why you thought that was a good idea.
Well, going back to my point, I don't know what people's obsession is of smoking or doing anything at school. Like, dude, you're like 99.9% of the time you're gonna get caught. Why are you doing at a place where there's such high chance of you getting caught and getting
Everyone
in trouble?
would do it in the bathrooms, though. The bathrooms were just like a sauna for vaping and sometimes smoking weed. I walked in one time, I saw someone like smoking a vape pen. They look at me, why the vape's in their mouth, they pull it out and hide it behind their back and go, "Oh, hey, hey, what's up? How are you? What are you doing?" And acting like they weren't just vaping. And I go, dude, I don't care. What, dude, like, I'm just here to piss like you should be doing. And he started pretending like he wasn't like smoking weed, like vaping, and was like continuing on that. I just don't know why. I'm not gonna. No one's gonna tell on you, except for one person. One person would tell on you. He's a massive sellout.
Yeah, but I've had a bunch of people do that. Like, I'd walk into the bathroom, I'd smell skunk, and then just you see a bunch of people hidden, huddling around a single stall, and they're like, you can just smell the skunk on them, and they just walk in, they look over at me, it's like, "Hey, Sean, how's it going?" It's like, "Hey, how you doing?" Trying to basically butter me up so that I don't rat them out. It's like, I don't care.
It is. I don't know. Maybe it's just fear that you probably will be ratted out. I don't know.
Well, if you have that fear,
Why do it in the first place? Yeah.
why are you doing it at school? That kind of confuses me why you would do that. Because you have a high chance of getting caught because you have the teachers, you have students, you have the resource officer. Like, the stacks are against you. Why are you doing it in a place where you know you can get caught and you can get in trouble?
That's true. I don't. I have no damn clue.
Because you have people like Jameson that will just go and rat you out.
Yeah, Jameson was a fucking rat bastard. You'd never trust Jameson. He sold so many people out to the I'm surprised he never got beaten up for it. Just like he would rat people out. Like,
well, he was given a nickname as like the Rat, and he took that as name as like a badge of honor or something like that.
That I didn't know that actually, but that is funny. I do know that he was a massive fucking tattletale in high school, which that's kind of fucking sad.
Yeah, there's a bunch of times where I'm surprised like you did not get beat up for this.
Yeah, and some kids there weren't afraid to throw hands, and I'm surprised none beat Jameson's ass for it.
Yeah, it's.
And I think I don't know if he did it for candy because I knew some.
Oh, he was given candy. He was.
Oh, that's why. Yeah, that's even.
He was given rewards. Dude was given rewards for ratting people out.
Like, dude, this isn't elementary school. Why are you selling your friends out for candy in high school, Jameson? That's really fucking sad.
Dude was ratting people out for candy.
Yeah,
like he would be given like a lollipop.
Yeah, like if Jameson actually shows up for a podcast episode, we should just bring that up. That he actually was selling people out for warheads.
Yes. Hey, here's a war. Yeah. Good job, Jameson. Here's a Tootsie Roll. You sent this. You gave this guy 9 days of truancy.
No, it was never that severe, but I know.
I know. I was just making a dumb joke.
Yeah, it would be pretty funny. I wonder how many kids actually held grudges against him. Or knew it was him.
Yeah, I mean, I think you could go anonymously, but
it was never anonymous.
I mean, the fact that he has his own nickname and people knew of him that way, I don't think.
Don't bring up the anonymous word, Sean, because I remember at school, if you anonymously reported anything, the teacher's like, "Oh, thank you for telling us. We'll keep this anonymous." And then when they call a person over, so and so said this, like,
yeah, it's like
doxing the fuck. Like, oh, thanks a lot. Why? That's also a reason why no one ever reported anything. Because the teacher's like, thank you for reporting this. We'll make sure this stays anonymous. And then this goes up and tells the person that you ratted on them.
Yeah, and then if you don't know how to defend yourself, they just beat the shit out of you like the next day.
Yeah, we can go on about that later. But back to my other weed story involving our glorious high school. It started as any other day. I was sitting in science class.
Oh gosh, yes. Continue.
It was a good science class where we're learning about biology. And one of the kids, we're gonna call him
Thing 1.
Yeah, Thing 1, whatever. Fucking Joe Biden. I don't know.
Yes, let's go with Joe Biden.
Yeah, let's go. So Biden sits down, he goes to me, he's like, AJ. No, he doesn't actually talk to me. He just sits down, like I think at the table I was sitting at, and I notice his bag's open, like it's unzipped, like the top's open, and I can see inside, larger than all his folders. It's actually obstructing his folders. Was basically a shoe, the size of a shoebox. Marijuana, just a bag of marijuana that's clear and see-through. It's like the size of a shoebox, and it's poking out of his bag that's unzipped. I'm fucking shocked. I'm mesmerized, actually. I'm at a loss for words. I'm just looking at it. Well, I wasn't the only person who saw that. It's kind of losing to me now how he got caught. Well, I can only imagine how he got caught, but how the dean saw it. The dean found it. And he points to Biden, the kid, and goes like, "Is this yours?" No.
As if it being in your bag.
It could be anyone else's.
It's in your bag. I was saving it for a friend.
I'm saving it for a friend, man. Like, no, it's not gonna fly. I don't like. He was out of class. I think he was outside. I don't know. The dean was like talking to him outside, and he was making up some excuses like, it's not mine. I don't know how it got there. I swear it's not mine. I don't know who someone put it there. Like I doubt that.
Like that's gonna that's gonna get you out
Listen,
of trouble.
you're a fucking dumbass for thinking this was a good idea in the first place. I have still. I'm gonna reiterate again. What? How could you be that stupid? How could you get that much weed, and how could you be that much stupid with it? Either he was gonna sell it or he's gonna smoke it in the bathroom. Knowing like the kids at our school, it's probably the latter. But yeah, the dean confiscates it, and like the kid comes back surprisingly, sits down, and just goes, "Dude, it's fucked up. The dean took my weed."
What do you even say at that point? It's like, what did you really expect?
No shit.
I bet the kid thought he was gonna get it back at the end of the day.
He probably did, and the fact he wasn't expelled is even more shocking.
Well, then again, you need to basically murder a person at Gulf Breeze High to
Gulf Heights.
Gulf Breeze High to get expelled. Because there's so many kids that should have been expelled, but they just freaking weren't.
We can go on about that.
There was a kid named I don't know. I'll just say his name.
Ronaldo.
Ronaldo Montalban. That he threatened to. He was a furry, and he threatened to pew the school, and dude was given like what, a week suspension, and then he was able to walk at
you're going to that story.
He was able to walk at
damn.
Senior year.
Damn, I wanted to tell that story because I can tell it better than you can. But
I was just bringing it up. You can continue the story. I was just
all right. So anyway, I'll tell more of that story. Okay, you want to start the story early, but so as Sean said, yeah, they were a known furry. Not against furries, anything if you're that or not, because I can guarantee you won't want this person representing you.
Yeah.
Oh
shoot.
Well, because I even knew other furries at our school that just didn't like him. This guy. It all started with one day a friend of mine. I'm gonna call him Messi. So Messi came to his class.
Messi.
Messi and Ronaldo.
Yeah.
Like Messi. So like I forget. So Messi is a kid. Is it like a child of military parents? Both of his parents are military. He's mighty proud of that fact, and I think now he is currently in the military.
Well, that's how it usually goes.
Yeah, it usually is. But anyway, I don't remember how it started, but Ronaldo just, I don't know, goes off about like Messi's parents, calling them murderers, like fascists and killers, which obviously pissed Messi off. So Messi punches like Ronaldo in the face.
And then doesn't Pele video it? Like there's
You called him Pele. Wow.
Yeah,
but yeah,
Pele.
No, I'm getting to that. Sean. Don't interrupt.
Okay, sorry.
So anyway, he goes off the wall saying, "I'm gonna kill you. I'm gonna shoot up a school. You're on my list, man." Like, and starts saying he's gonna kill a bunch of people. He has a list, and now Messi is on the top of the list. Noticing this and doing his student obligations is Pele. If you didn't know, at our school, and I'm sure at your school too, there was, if you see something, say something. That was big. That if you see something threatening, you report it immediately. At the entire school, it was pounded in your head. If you see something, you say something.
Yeah.
If there was ever a hint of a school shooting, you report it immediately. No matter how severe, even if it's a joke, you should report it. And that there's no consequences in reporting it. Like, you should report it. You shouldn't feel afraid to report it. Well, Pele records Ronaldo going off that he's going to kill everyone, and brings it to the principal and dean. So, you don't want to know what happens? You want to know what happens? So, Ronaldo, for threatening to kill a bunch of people, and when the police did go to his house, they did find indeed a list, though they didn't find a gun. They did find a list with people he wanted to kill. He only got a week suspension, while Messi, for punching Ronaldo, got 2 weeks suspension. And Pelly, for recording another student, got also 2 weeks suspension. Oh wait, that's right. Ronaldo didn't even get 1 week suspension. He got 2 days.
Yeah. He was able to show up next week.
He was able to show up the same week after threatening to shoot up the school. And the people that did their due diligence and reported him like they should have got punished for it.
Yeah. There's another similar story. I'll tell it. So, because I actually knew people that were on his list. There is a person in our Gulf Breeze High. His name was I'll call him Daniel Tiger. Daniel Tiger. He was known for being a really disturbed person, and he had a list of people that he would want to do, let's say, very not so PG things to them. Mm-hmm. And like it was spread. He like posted it on the internet, and it even got to a point where there's a dude that made a YouTube video that you need to get. If you're in Gulf Breeze High School, you can't go there because Daniel Tiger is gonna shoot up the school and do not so very PG things to
Tony the Tiger.
To some of these girls, and I knew some of those girls that were on her on Daniel Tiger's list, and they were freaking out because they didn't know if he was actually gonna go through with it and do the not so PG things. Mm-hmm. He eventually was found out and given 2 days of suspension, and then was able to go back to school like literally the next week. So apparently, school shooting is not taken seriously at our school.
Even though they fucking lose their minds about it and reinforce it. So much so, I can go into the school shooting prevention rules. So basically, at our school, because of school shootings, all the doors lock inward. Yeah, you heard that right? They lock inward.
Yeah, which is stupid.
Yeah, and there is some areas in the school where you can just trap yourself because of how stupid the design is. Not to mention, despite all their extreme anti-school shooting legislations, I remember we did school shooting drills every month. There was a lot of things we did about school shooting. Like, they had rules. Like, they were extremely strict and just complete, what's the word? Like, they were given an inch of power into some things and they used it to abuse it. Like, they were completely sticklers for the most minute things. You couldn't go to, some bathrooms, even though those bathrooms were relatively close. They just didn't want you going into those bathrooms. The hall monitors just abused their power. Like, let's say there's a bathroom that's right outside the cafeteria, but they'll stop me and say, you can't go there. And I can't ask why because I'll get in trouble for it. And I have asked why before, and that's got me in more shit. Oh, you talking back? But anyway, I would have to go to a longer distance to go use the restroom if I wanted to. They were completely sticklers about who and who couldn't go to the bathroom. And it was all in the name of preventing school shootings. That's going to happen. I know in schools in general, you have hard corners, which don't make any sense because
because the whole idea with the hard corners is they think that if you go into a hard corner, they can't see you and they can't shoot you. They can't shoot through the walls and yada yada yada, which is stupid because if you huddle into a corner and they just so happen to go into that exact room, because you putting a little drape over the window is not gonna convince them not to go in there. They're gonna want to go in there because if there's a locked door, you want to see what's behind it.
And even though
let me finish. So if you're going with the idea of the hard corner, well, you just gave them free range to just shoot you when they walk in. So that kind of ruins the whole idea. What you should do is basically get around the door, not directly in front of it. And when the person gets into the room, you rush him and you try and prevent him from shooting people. Because if you rush at them, they're most likely not going to shoot a bunch of people because you're rushing at them and they're going to be freaked out.
Okay, calm down, Rambo. Listen, I think the main problem with that is they forget that most school shooters go to the school, so they'll probably know that class isn't empty because they're probably from that class.
That too.
That's probably the main reason, Sean.
I never.
Not them doing a fucking Spartan charge at the school.
Well, no, that is what is the better tactic.
Yeah, okay.
Instead of just hiding in the hiding in the hard corner. But that I never actually thought of that idea that, oh shoot, they know the stupid hard corner drill, so they're gonna know exactly what's gonna happen.
I feel like, how could you, almost nearly every school shooting is like a student. But anyway,
it's just one of those things where it just slipped my mind.
Anyway, like on the subject of shooting, our school had obviously lockdowns every month, but because our school, like the school not staff, what is it? The school board was so lazy, they basically decided that they were going to merge fire drills and lockdowns in the same drill, and it would be the same because of one school shooting where they pulled the fire alarm. It's going to be the same for when it's an active fire school shooting. Basically, if the fire drill ever goes off, we're to go in a hard corner and wait till the principal says otherwise.
Yeah.
The problem is if there's an actual fire, you're just telling us to get in a hard corner and wait there.
Yeah, until you decide to get on the intercom and say so. And what happens if the fire breaks out in the principal's office and he passes out due to carbon monoxide?
Okay, Sean, that's a bit extreme.
I'm just bringing up a fact.
That feels like oddly specific, but I was thinking more just, that the principal forgets, or they run out and forget the student.
Well, I mean that too.
I feel like but anyway, the point is like it was so stupid and lazy. But there's another aspect. I know it sounds like I'm complaining at this point, and I kind of am. I'm kind of venting my frustration from my time at this school. Because I don't hate the teachers. I think the teachers were woefully underpaid, and a lot of them were good people. It's just the school board themselves were just really terrible people, I think. And remember, they had one rule that was oddly specific. Basically, and when I explain it to you, it's going to be even more stupider when you think about it. So basically, you're not allowed to go through the front door before school starts.
Oh yeah, I remember.
And if you walk inside, the person at the front desk will tell you to go and get this. You have to leave, and if you want to enter school, you have to go through the cafeteria where they send all the students before class. They do this to prevent school shootings. But as you can imagine, just think about that clearly. So basically, don't come in the front door where no one is. Go around to where everyone is. If I was a school shooter, you're just telling me, don't kill us, go kill the kids. And it was even worse, is that not every person at the front desk would follow that rule. Sometimes they would let you in early. Other times, this one lady was an absolute stickler about it and would just throw a hissy fit if you walked in.
The thing is, the school blatantly played favoritism. So if the people at the front desk knew you, they would let you in early. They'd let you through that front door.
Oh, that's not even fair. In the hall too, they're oddly specific. Like, I know if you could have like a shirt advertising beer. I know some girls had Playboy shirts and had very revealing outfits.
Oh, you're talking about the dress code?
The dress code.
Oh yeah, that was totally on the fact that they liked you or not. Girls could be wearing booty shorts and wearing really suggestive clothing, and they'd say nothing just because they're friends with the principal. But if I were to wear a tank top, I would be told to go to the front office and call your parents and change your clothes. Well, I'm just giving an example because this actually happened to me.
I know, like, if some people were walking in through the hallway, had hats on, they would pick out only one person to yell at them.
Yeah.
While others they would just let pass. And I've seen multiple times the deans yelling at this one kid for having a hat, while 3 other kids with hats walk right by them. Like,
I know. They totally play favorites, and it's just because they know them and they're good pals, and I'll just turn a blind eye.
It's even more stupid is with their whole paranoia about school shootings. The biggest school hazard is the hallways themselves, because we had, I think, nearly 500 kids in our class alone, and the hallways are very thin. Like, there's crowd crush. Well, not almost. You could have crowd crush. because how packed everyone is. And if you start shooting, a lot of people would just die from being trampled on. It was that thin, and it's very slow to get from point A to point B because there's just so many people in the hallways, and the hallways are so thin, can't help that many people.
Well, it's specifically in one main area, and that was the front of the school. That was where the crowd crush was. And if you're walking through
Could have happened.
If you were walking in that area, you had to make sure that you got out of class as soon as possible, or else you're going to be walking at like 0.1% speed, and you're going to be walking shoulder to shoulder with people.
There's so many things I hated about that hallways. One of which is like there's always that one like the couples would always take the time to show their affection for one another. I would stand in the middle of the hallway and give a goodbye kiss before they go to class.
Or they're holding hands.
Taking up valuable room.
Yeah, they're holding hands and they're basically clotheslining everyone, and you have to walk behind them and you can't move.
They do it in the front of the doors too. I'm like, please, I get you're in love, just get a room.
Okay, you want to? Do you think we should tone it down a little bit on the complaining, or do you just want to keep venting?
Yeah, we should turn it down to the complaining. I'll just drop the complaining and start telling stories.
Okay, let's go. Let's move on to the next high school story. Let's talk about some of the funny things that.
You tell a story. You tell a high school story.
Okay, so there's a story in my Spanish class where this teacher was objectively really terrible. A lot of kids absolutely hated her because she would get mad at you for the most minute detail. She'll basically send you to the dean's office for the stupidest things ever. So one day this student was like, you know what? I want to get back at her. So what did he do? Well, we used to have a Tuesday morning by the Walmart. And there used to be a Tuesday morning.
Oh, yeah, there was, yeah.
By the local Walmart. So what he did is he went to the Tuesday morning, bought a really cheap speaker, and he went into her classroom before class started. And there's a little projector thing that was like hanging above the classroom. And what he did is he went up there and put the speaker on top of that little platform that's holding the projector. And he turned on the speaker. And what he would do is when the teacher was like, like having a test or something, or she's just talking, he would turn on the speaker and he would start playing a bunch of random noises. Like a popular one that he would do is monkey noises. And we were able to convince this teacher that she was hearing things. Like when he would turn on the noise, we convinced her that, oh, there's nothing there. There's no sound. It's just you hearing things. So she started getting really angry, and she would just pick out random kids, be like, okay, hand me your backpack. I'm going to search it now. I'm going to look for this. I'm going to look for your phone. And she would just do that regularly. Well, one day we were taking a test, and one of the kids, because like a bunch of people hooked their phones up to the Bluetooth. Well, one kid one day thought it would be a funny thing during a Spanish test where he would go and turn on Pornhub, and you could hear in the background the Pornhub intro go you could hear the Pornhub intro go.
Oh no!
And then you would hear the moaning noise during the class, during the Spanish test. So while you're sitting there, during the test you ask the question, what is sun in Spanish? You can hear in the background while you're taking
those noises really good, Sean. I wonder.
While you're taking the test, you're hearing that, and the teacher got so mad that she started just forcing everyone to dump their backpack on the ground. Not like forcing everyone, but she was picking out like the kids that she thought were doing it. She told them to take out their backpacks and hand it over so that she can look through it.
I feel she must have caught it because
she never did.
Well, he must have been streaming it from his phone.
She never found out who did it. I don't know how they were able to do it and hide it. She never figured out who it was. And even I got pinned because I was in class looking at my phone because someone had sent me a text, and she told me to hand me my phone over. And after class, I went to go get my phone, and I got a little upset because, well, you just took my phone off of no basis of me actually doing it, and so I got a little lippy with her, and she sent me to detention.
Yeah, I don't know why you got lippy.
Because I got a little upset because she accused me of something that I didn't do, and I can prove that I didn't actually do it, and she just accused me because I was the closest person to her. But yeah, that's the story of the Spanish class and the speaker. And I know who did it because I saw him do it, but I'm not gonna.
You don't want to be Jameson and rat him out?
I'm not gonna expose him.
You know, Jameson would do it. He would do it for a warhead. Actually, you know, he wouldn't even do it for a warhead. He'd do it for the love of the sport.
Yeah.
The love of ratting people out.
Yeah, so that's my story of the Spanish teacher and the speaker. You got another story for...
I have a story related to that, not in Spanish class, but in computer lab, of this people being stupid. So I'll just lay you an outline of my computer lab. Basically, the computer lab is in a U shape. There's a teacher's desk at the very end, and then the U shape is all the computers. So she could have a clear view on what we're all looking at.
Yeah,
Even with this in mind, some dumbass casually just pulls up Pornhub and just watches it. You had the volume off though, don't worry. But it just like was looking at it. The person next to him was like, "The fuck," and like that actually got the teacher to notice. Like, what? And it's like you're not one like the school can clearly see it. They know what's there. You're looking at all times. So I don't know why you thought that was a smart idea. There was another person. If you didn't know, all our computers are somewhat connected. So if something happens to one computer, it happens to all computers.
Yeah.
This idiot, I'm gonna call him.
Idiot one.
No, we're gonna call him. I don't know, fucking Pineapple or whatever his name is.
Kabbalah Harris.
No, we're gonna call him. No, his name's not really that important.
Whatever.
I know. Fucking Stevie. I don't know.
Walls.
I'm gonna call him. I don't know. Fucking Stevie. So Stevie just uploads on his computer. He goes to Pirate Bay and pirates Fallout 4 onto the school computers, which kind of fucks up the computers actually.
Well, yeah, because I mean the school computers have like what 1 gigabyte of storage, and when you download a game as expansive as Fallout 4.
Well, that and you're pirating it from Pirate Bay.
Yeah, you're gonna have a little bit of a problem.
Mm-hmm.
So continue the story.
Anyway, like he got into massive trouble for this. It wasn't okay. The kid was weird. Stevie, he was a weird kid. He had videos he would often brag about. He would constantly show people his YouTube channel. His YouTube channel was super small, but on it was just him. Like it was him doing like a mukbang. It was like him eating out of a bucket of KFC while he stared at like the screen. It was super weird. There was other ones. His push-up challenge or his pull-up challenge. It was him doing like a pull-up, and each video he'd do one more. So by the end of it, he only did 7 pull-ups.
So it was a 7-second long video?
Yeah, he's like, no, it's him struggling to do it, and he's like, yeah, and he was like screaming in the video. He was a fucking weird kid. Like when someone showed him Goatsy, he just starts screaming, "That's disgusting!" And just starts screaming about it. Like kind of like that. Like he would lose his shit over a lot of. Actually, now I think about it, he may have been on the spectrum, but yeah, that's that part. That's pretty much computer class. Not that much else happened in computer class that I can think of at the moment.
How about that one kid that shouted in class that he was gonna, you know what?
Oh, I'll get to that. And I just remember one more computer class story.
All right.
One day the teacher just goes to the bathroom. We're all learning how to use Excel because that was the point of class. We're supposed to learn how to use Word and Excel.
Oh, and PowerPoint.
In PowerPoint, yeah.
Because I had the same class. I didn't have it with you, but I had a class similar to that.
Yeah, we were doing PowerPoint. We were learning how to, or whatever. Doesn't matter. We were doing Microsoft Word, and while we were doing that, one of the kids stands up, loses a ceiling tile, and climbs up in, and then the teacher comes back, and they're like, well, "Where's Michael? Where'd he go?" Michael's not his actual name this season, but the teacher is like, "Where's Michael?" And then like Michael's like, "I'm not here." And she looks up.
The fact that he answers is funny.
And he's like, and she can hear him coming from the ceiling. "Michael, get down from there!" And then she's like, "No, I'm not up here." His like leg breaks through.
The fact that he did that, like for no reason, he just climbs through the window. I mean the roof.
The kids there like were on a different level of autism. I swear. Like I feel like going to that school, you didn't learn anything. You just became more dumb.
You became retarded, basically.
Yeah, like you became more, you just went there to lose more brain cells. I'm sure by the end of there, I'm surprised no one was like drooling into a cup because of how stupid they got.
Yeah, because there's the amount of brain cells that you could lose in that class.
Key point: the math test. I'll tell this story. Sean loves this story. This is his favorite story. So basically, in the middle of a math class and a math test, this person decided to do some substances in the middle of a math test, but not normal substances. So in the middle of this math test, everyone's like putting down their answers, like doing equations and whatnot. This kid, he just announces to everyone. Get ready, listeners. If you're disturbed by any sexual content, get ready because he announces to everyone, "I'm hard." And everyone's like, "Whoa, wait, what?" Like, because the room was dead silent before then. They look back, and like he's gripping his crotch. Like he's not his penis out. Don't worry. But he falls over, and like there's like clearly like an erection outline. He's like, "Oh, I'm so hard." Like, dude, what the fuck's going on? He's like, "I took Viagra." Like he pops a blue pill in the middle of the test.
He pops a blue chew and then he starts. Continue.
I wasn't masturbating. I don't know where he got that from. But like he was just gripping his crotch, and like everyone was so like shocked. Dude, what the fuck, man? I don't know the kid's name. He took a blue pill. He did Viagra in the middle of the weed would have been one thing, acid too, but no, this kid went straight for Viagra. Like, he decided math was gonna be very interesting that day. I don't know if like dividing numbers gave him turned him on or whatnot, but it fucking turned this kid on. I don't know why he did that or where he got Viagra pills. I don't know if it was his dad's or something else, but like he just went like. Yeah, I'm gonna take a blue pill, middle of class. Sorry, everyone. Thank goodness he didn't like overdose or anything, but
yeah,
like I was just.
I gotta calm down. My head's getting a little light because of the laughing.
Oh, I thought you were doing a bit.
No, my head's getting a little bit light because of all the laughing because of the stupid stories.
Well, good for you. That to this day I am still perplexed by. That shows you the max intelligence of our school.
There's this one kid. Actually, there's these two kids that were in my study hall class. Because let me tell you, my study hall class, I acted pretty normal in that class. I mean, I sometimes participated in the weird stuff, but most of the time I kept quiet. There's these one kids that I don't know what it was. This one day, he just decided, you know what, I'm just going to be a menace. And he just announces during the middle of a test that, Miss Paul, do you have a boyfriend? And she's like, no, I never got married. He's like, okay, well, you kind of looking thick though, and I kind of want to fuck you.
I feel bad. And wasn't she like a very nice teacher?
She was, but she
didn't. I feel a lot of our teachers.
He constantly said like, I want to fuck Miss Paul. I kind of want to do her and stuff like that. And like for no reason too. I also work with the dude, and I asked him, dude, why did you constantly say like, I want to have sex with Miss Paul? I wonder if I can fit my dick in her mouth and weird shit like that. I was like. He's like, I don't know. I just felt like it was kind of funny. It's like, what the
funny
fuck?
At all? No, like
what the fuck?
There's so many people at our school that were just like the teachers there were like generally nice people. Like I loved all my teachers. They were super nice people and did not get paid enough for half of the shit they had to go through.
Well, like there's the same kid. Like there was one time when the teacher decided to go use the bathroom. He freaking barricaded her in the door so where she couldn't get out of the classroom.
That's fucked up, man. I'm going to say it again, just to keep repeating it. I would say the structure of our school, like half of the kids were good, half of them were actually just degenerates. And the teachers were just actually nice, good people that did not deserve to have all the shit that
Well,
happened.
some of them were nice. Some of them did deserve it.
All my teachers I liked. Even the person that got upset about like the book written the N-word. I still liked her. She was a nice person. And I feel like a lot of my teachers were nice people. But again, they weren't paid nearly enough for the bullshit they had to deal with.
Here, let me try and get up there.
You
Okay.
you don't know how to get up there?
Okay, so continue.
Alright, yeah, that like
Tell the story of the two people that were having a little bit too much fun in the kitchen.
I'm getting
the
there,
cafeteria.
Sean. Listen, I go my own pace, Sean. You're not the boss of me.
Well, then I'll tell one story. So there's this kid.
Anyway, so as I was saying, I'm fucking kidding. Go ahead.
So yeah, I mean, this is similar to the story that AJ's probably going to tell later, but it's not the same. There's this one kid that I knew who was on the cross country team, and well, actually the track team. His name was Jared, and his name's not actually Jared, but
his last name was Fogel.
Yeah, Jared Fogel. He had a girlfriend, and he was pretty proud of it because, well, Jared wasn't really that much of an interest. He was kind of a weird dude, and well, Jared during lunch he got a little bit too excited, and well, he was sitting at lunch with his girlfriend. Well, Jared got into his head, you know what? I'm going to be a little bit promiscuous today. And, well, Jared decided to get a little too handsy with his girlfriend during class and during lunch. And he started F-ingering his...
Let's just say
he was putting his hand in a beneath the belt.
You could say he was picking beans. Yeah, he was a bean farmer.
He was a bean farmer during lunch. And, well, someone caught it on video. And let's just say he was the talk of the town when he got to track, when he was at the track club.
I can only imagine why.
And for a good year, for the rest of the year, that's what he was known for. Yeah. Oh, and he also had a little bit of a talk with the dean about how...
Again, I wonder why.
That you shouldn't be doing that sort of stuff at lunch. But yeah, kid got a little too handsy with his girlfriend at lunch. Because, he was just a little excited for being able to have a girlfriend and him never having one.
You know what? At least he had a girlfriend. Because let's be honest, there's a lot of people who I think got a girlfriend. If they got a girlfriend, bad things would have happened. But anyway, I'm gonna tell my story about something similar to that. Which before I begin, I'm gonna say what I think this story is. I was not here for this story. In fact, this story was hearsay. And a lot of stories I'll say I was either there or it was hearsay. Granted, and the reason I believe a lot of these stories are true is because when you're usually there in the moment, you'll be there in some of the moments, so you'll know a lot of this stuff is true, and it's just that wacky. But this story I was told by a friend who was in that lunch period. I was not there, so take it with a grain of salt. And what I think, hearing Sean's story, I think this is what that story. It's the same story, just exaggerated or something very identical happened. I'm more leaning to it being Sean's story that the person told me just falsely.
Yeah, I kind of prefer your story.
Anyway, so at lunch periods, at one of the lunch periods, there was a boyfriend and a girlfriend. I don't know their names. But as I was being told this, so the story goes, these boyfriend and girlfriends, in the middle class, they're pretty flirtatious. They liked each other very much. To show this love, they put a blanket over They put a blanket over each other in the middle of lunch. Not even sitting next to their friends, just in the middle of lunch. They were sitting down, just kind of put a blanket around each other. And well, his worm was going for the oyster. Let's just say that. Or in reality, I think it was fingering, but the person said it was a bit more, very much more togetherness, if you could say it. Which is very fucking weird for the person sitting next to him. I'm eating my sandwich and all I hear is I'm like, Oh, what the fuck? It's gonna hurt. It's gonna be really bad if you were like eating a ham sandwich. Then that's gonna lose your appetite even quicker. But besides the point, the dean pulls the blanket off them, and they look so embarrassed. And everyone just goes like, "What the fuck were you thinking?" The dean's obviously mortified. Everyone's mortified. The guy sitting next to him is mortified. Like, so what was that liquid that got on me? Like,
yeah.
no, I'm fucking kidding. That part didn't
Yeah,
happen.
I know, but
It was funny. Granted, again, I wasn't there for it, and
oh,
your controller shut down. Granted,
Oh.
I wasn't there for it, and it was from a friend's perspective. I doubt it was that consider. If it did happen, and if it wasn't Sean's story, I think it was fingering.
that's probably most likely.
Probably was because.
But I kind of prefer that story because it's kind
Also,
of
I think it really was Sean's story. Since I wasn't there, I'm just gonna go by that. But yeah, that's the. We can go into how like very oddly sexual everyone was. I get people were going through puberty and it was high school, but at the same time, there has to come a point where you have to realize there's a place, and that place is not school.
Well, I have heard a lot of stories that people have been caught in like the school bathrooms, and they were caught in like their trucks and stuff like that.
Okay, that I can believe. In the school bathrooms, I'll go. We can talk about the school bathrooms later, but I know that people got their freak on a lot. From what I did know, I did see. I was going home one day. I was laying on the. I was on the bus. I was on the front seat. I was laying my head against the window, just waiting for us to leave. I was just looking outside, and then before my eyes, before God even, before everyone's eyes, were these two kids standing behind a very thin lamppost, which they thought was hiding them. Behind this lamppost were these two lovers. They were making out. And then while we're watching them make out, I saw him reach his hand off the back of her shirt and then pull off her bra. Smoothly, of course. He was actually quite a professional. But I was just dumbstruck. Like, is he doing this out in public? I looked behind me to the rest of the bus. They're all looking around. The girl behind me is looking at me, and I'm looking at her. Then we look back at them, then back at each other. We're like, "Are you seeing this?" Like, and she goes, She goes to me, "Are you seeing this?" I'm like, "Yeah, you." And she's like, "Yeah." Like, everyone's dumbstruck. And we look back at them just making out, and he's like starting to lift up her shirt, and then everyone starts banging on the window, just starting laughing and banging on the window. The two of them turn around, see us, drop their hands to the side, and start pretending like they weren't doing nothing wrong. They're acting like, oh, what? They just pretend like they didn't know each other, like nothing was wrong.
That's funny. The fact that they decided to get it on in the public. Like, what makes you think that you can do that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, you want to move on to some Reddit stories? Because I think we're kind of exhausting the school stories.
Oh, my mom's calling me.
All right.
You tell a story while I go talk.
Okay. So, this story comes from, what can I say? This story goes back to middle school, so this is middle school Sean. So, middle school Sean, he was in an art class, and in this art class, there was a lot of people. Well, a lot of interesting people. Well, middle school Sean had this friend that was in art class, and well, this kid was a bit eccentric. And during art class, he started drawing, let's say, school shooting images, talking about how he wants to shoot up the school and how he making a bunch of jokes about school shootings and stuff like that. And well, he's eventually found out that that people saw him drawing those jokes on how he wanted to school shooting jokes and stuff like that, and he's basically sent to juvie for like a good month or two. Well, the teacher in that class basically ratted him out because it was supposed to be like a secret. So the teacher just casually rats him out and basically tells why he hasn't been showing up to class. And he when he finds that out, he gets really upset because he doesn't want people to know why he wasn't appearing at school. So he spends like a good couple minutes at the beginning of class yelling at the teachers like, "What the fuck? Why did you rat me out that I did this stuff?" And then she's just like dumbstruck because the teacher didn't like him. She blatantly absolutely hated him, and she was basically trying to cover her tracks saying, "I didn't mean to do it. I didn't say any of that." And there's basically the entire class was like saying, "Yeah, you did. You told us, and you even you wrote an entire lesson basically saying don't do what he did."
Did she actually make a lesson? Or is
Well, that was like a little
up?
talking to.
I was gonna say if she made an entire lesson, that's actually just pouring salt in the wound there.
Yeah, she gave an entire talking lesson saying, "Yeah, you don't make jokes about that, and that if you do that, you will get in trouble and stuff like that." And yeah, my friend, I'll call him Seymour, got really upset, and
Suddenly see more. Sorry.
he started yelling at the teacher, which was kind of funny. But yeah, that was that story.
How many kills are we going to? Because I'm at 101 and you're only at 66.
We're just going infinite.
Oh, there is. Oh, well, I killed you again, 102.
All right, you want to go into some Reddit stories?
No, there's just we're about to finish up school stories. I have a few more, and then we can call it. There's one of my trying to remember. I probably shouldn't tell that one because that one actually I don't know if that would get me in trouble or not. Because that one I'm actually involved. But I do know this one. Fun times at the pier. Basically, we were going on a on our marine biology class. We went to the pier, like we live near a beach, so we go to the we go to the pier, and it's a big pier, very tall pier, and like we're learning about like I don't know, marine life and whatnot. And this one kid goes, "Hey guys, watch this!" and just jumps right off face forward down face forward down like off the pier and into like the water. And keep in mind, there's people fishing here, and for all we know, there's probably rocks down there. He was completely fine. The worst thing he had was him just being wet for the rest of the day. But he just jumped face first off the pier. "Hey guys, watch this!"
For no reason.
No reason. He was bored. It's like, "Hey guys, watch this."
That actually kind of reminds me of a story back in, this is elementary school, Sean. So, back in elementary school, this is 5th grade, by the way. Elementary school, Sean was trying to be cool, and he tried to be the cool kid because...
And you never succeeded.
I didn't. I will admit, I never was the cool kid. But this was the point. This was the point when Sean... I would say this is the peak when Sean tried to be the cool kid in class. So... what he did is he joined this thing called the robotics club because a lot of the cool kids at that time decided to join the robotics club. So I thought that was my in to get myself into the to be the cool kid. And also at that time there was the girl that I was interested in was in this club. And then again, let me preface this: I was in 5th grade. So during this time, we were going to a competition. And little Sean, he wasn't told this because he showed up a little bit late, but the teacher had told the group saying, "Okay, there's a problem with this robot. So in the inspection area, so we can get points, I want you to lie to the basically she said, I want you to lie to the judges saying that there's nothing wrong with our robot and that everything's okay." Well, little Sean didn't get this memo because he showed up a little late. And so when it got time for the inspection, they asked, "Hey, is there any problems with the robot?" I said, "Yeah, we were having a little bit of problems with the propeller because it wouldn't propel forward and it was having a little bit of problem moving around." And the look on everyone's face when I said that if looks could kill, I would have died at the age of 11. But they were all mortified. And they're like, okay. And then right when they left, the teacher said, Sean, why did you do that? I was like, I'm sorry, but they asked a question and I was answering it. So when we didn't get the award, the teacher basically said to the students, blame Sean, he was the one that caused us for not getting the award.
Damn.
And also, the reason why I brought up the fact that one of the girls that I liked was on the team, it turns out that at that event, to basically get at me and pour salt on my wound, she basically said, hey Sean, yeah, I know you're interested in me. I know that you've been trying to get my attention and chasing me. I told my parents that, and they think that you're weird, and that made me feel all the better.
The fuck?
And yeah, the entire time I just felt like a fish out of water, and I just wanted to get up there as quickly as possible. So yeah, that was little Sean and his adventure in 5th grade.
All right, so I think it is time we drop the school subject, but I have one more, and I'll let you choose. Do you want to talk about that happened between that one like person on the school board and her daughter, or should we talk about the school bathrooms?
I think we made a lot of reference to the school bathrooms. I think it's time that we fully elaborate on it.
All right, yeah. So the school bathrooms it is. So oh, we killed each other. Anyway, so
I don't know why my controller.
I don't know your controller. Is the battery good?
It should be.
Anyway, so what happened is our school bathrooms. It's quite funny. The girls' bathrooms are relatively normal and quite clean, but the boys' bathrooms are some of the most filthy things you'll ever find. Like, there's literal shit smeared on the wall.
Okay, let me check this out. It's probably my batteries. But yeah, continue the story.
There's shit smeared on the boys' bathroom walls. There's, like the urinals. I'm just gonna say, you know what you find in urinals? Hey, yeah, you'll find piss, but you know what else you'll find? Fucking Swedish fish shoved in the drains.
I found a shoe once.
Yeah.
And a person, for a senior prank, shoved a bunch of watermelons down the toilet.
Yeah, a bunch of watermelons. Someone flushed one and jammed the pipes. There's a bunch of watermelons, and they're full-blown watermelons in the toilets too.
If you need change for the vending machine, just go into the bathroom and you'll find $1.20.
Yeah, I found that too. Like, I know there's like a lot of people would never flush too. So there's a bunch of toilets with full like shit piling up on it.
Yeah, which is freaking nasty. Like when you
obviously there's graffiti on all the walls. Someone drew a giant fucking pentagram in one of them.
There's a person that made a reference to COD Zombies where he drew a wall gun and said 50 points.
Okay, that's funny.
I still have that photo because I thought that
is fucking funny. But there's a lot more stuff in the bathroom. I'll tell you some actually really a gross one, or viewer discretion advised. This is really gross, but at the same time, it's so bizarre. It's kind of funny. So discretion is advised. So you know what I found? What people found a lot of in the boys' bathroom, not the girls' bathroom, in the boys' bathroom. Clothes hangers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll leave it at that.
In the boys' bathroom, which I what the. Was it like fucking Gen Z hospital in there? Or like quickly get the doctor, but he's in math class. Get him here now. He opens the door, grabs one kid. Listen, we need you in the bathroom right now. We need an emergency.
Let's just say during that time, most likely there is not just boys in that bathroom.
Probably not, but it is fun. I like to imagine they had one designated kid that was an expert at it.
Yeah, he was the doc. Like he was the one that you would get
50 cc's now. They just give like the girl like a Capri Sun instead of an IV. It's a Capri Sun. They're like 50 stats now. All right, they have it's like there's the one kid, the boyfriend, the girlfriend are there. The doctor comes up. Sorry, I was late in math class. All right.
That math test was kicking my ass.
And they have some other kid. He just puts his ear up to their chest. He's like, I can hear it, sir. All right. He goes to this other kid. He has a backpack. He's like, all right, scissors. All right, clothes hanger. And like, all right. Oh, he's like a full on, just like fucking high school.
Yeah.
So fucking dark.
It is. That's. Ugh. There was so the girls, just to let you know, the girls' bathroom wasn't all that great either. There was an incident where an entire girls' bathroom was shut down because apparently there was shit flung all over the walls.
Oh damn. I know like the reason. I know someone like ejaculated into one of the fountains.
Yeah, yeah.
I know. I remember that. Like it was on the. They caught him on the security camera too. Like he had his legs spread. He was just ejaculating into one of the water fountains.
Yeah.
And I feel like, man, that had to be a rude awakening for everyone who had a drink from that.
Yeah, I bet a lot of people enjoyed that.
You want to move on to just generic stories?
All right, you want to move on to like Reddit stories or like generic our personal life?
Let's just talk about personal stories you've been involved with.
Well, I mean, okay, I think you should go first because it usually takes me like a good while to remember some stuff.
All right, I'll ask which one you want. You want me to explain the part where my sister accidentally almost killed me, or some just actually I'll just go with that one. That one's a pretty funny story. Granted, we were kids, and I obviously don't blame her for it, and she was like very young at the time. But my family owns like a farm up in Alabama, and we would often go up there. So one day we're sitting on the back of this pickup truck. It's on a dirt road. We're sitting on the edge of the pickup truck on the very end. The tailgate's down, and while we're driving by, my sister decides to push me off for no apparent reason. Just pushes me off while we're driving. But it would have been one thing. Yeah, I can hear your reaction, Sean.
No, I was just taking a deep breath.
Yeah, it would have been one thing if I like hit the ground, but my pocket catches onto the end of the truck. You know where like you attach trailers to. My pocket catches onto that, and I'm dragged across the road. And I'm just screaming, Uncle Jack, please stop. And he eventually stops the truck. He comes, oh God, hey Jerry, you all right? And like I wasn't bleeding, but like I was able to pull my pants off, so I think I was like 14 at the time. She was I think 12. But yeah, that was that. It was very traumatizing because I did feel like I was about to die.
Well, I mean, yeah.
Well, we weren't going fast enough for me to die, but it did hurt, like, really bad. Thank goodness it was not on cement.
Yeah.
At worst I got was just some scabbing, so it wasn't too bad. I didn't
bit of road rash.
Yeah, road rash. All right, you got anything?
Not at the moment. I'm kind of bone dry on a bit of stories.
All right, I have some funny stories. What's a goofy story? No, it's gonna come to me. Oh, I know one. That's a pretty funny story. Did I already tell? No, yeah. So let's tell some ones about Jameson. This is gonna be good. We already told the one on a previous podcast about his aunt's birthday party, but.
Yeah.
This is just about Jameson in general. Which is pretty funny. When I first met Jameson, it was in completely different circumstances. I was in 5th grade. I think he was in 3rd grade, and like he was for some reason completely scared of me. Whenever I would see him, he would just run away and just. Now we're obviously good friends, but.
Well, I think we are because we rarely ever see him.
Yeah, on the podcast. Thanks a lot, Jameson.
Yeah, we rarely ever see the dude.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck. But yeah.
No scopes.
But yeah, continue the story.
Yeah. I remember like he would just run away and scream at me. What? Not like screaming at me, screaming of me. It's just like. Completely running away.
Like, did you do something to him?
I don't know. He was just like fucking scared of me for some reason.
Like, have you asked him like since then?
He doesn't even remember why.
Like you ask him and he's like, oh, I don't know.
He said, I don't remember that. I'm like, Jameson, I remember it vividly. You fucking ran away from me.
For no reason.
Mm-hmm.
And it's probably because your ugly face.
And yeah, fuck you too, man.
I'm just kidding.
Yeah. You know, there's a. No, let's talk about something nostalgic from school. One thing I did like in my younger years of school, we had something called a fall festival. I don't know if you had that.
To my knowledge, no, we didn't.
Basically, every fall it was like this one night. It wasn't on Halloween, but I think it was before something I don't remember. We'd have like there's a bunch of games at our school. It was in my elementary school, and we would just play like there's a bunch of like games, and all the parents and kids would be there. And I remember one. It was like a cakewalk, and that's the only one I would go on because it was just you always had like half a chance of getting cake.
Yeah.
And that was like my favorite one. Yes.
Yeah, my elementary school threw a Halloween party, and it was like a pretty legit one. Like it had a haunted house. It had, would have costume contests and stuff like that. They'd have like food and everything. It was pretty. Damn it!
You fell off.
It was pretty cool. I will admit that was one of the cool things that I liked at that elementary school. That and the amount of field trips and recesses we got, and being able to leave early on Thursdays. That was pretty much it that I liked about it. Other than that, it was basically a Nazi concentration camp with the amount of rules and with the way that the teachers acted and the blatant favoritism and sexism towards sexism against boys. It was pretty blatant how bad that school was. Like the sexism was so bad that the principal was fired for being discriminatory against little boys. That's how bad it got.
Oh, they're gonna say something else with little boys.
No, she blatantly discriminated against little boys and punished them a lot harder than girls. Like it got to that bad. And you know what? I don't give a shit. I'll dox them. It was Robert Down Elementary School. Cause fuck them.
Okay, well, good for you, man. Anyway,
but yeah, but I will say, the Halloween parties there were pretty dang legit.
I just thought of a story that I don't think I've ever told you or Jameson. This is a story about were you ever in Boy Scouts?
Yeah, I was in Boy Scouts.
I was in Boy Scouts too.
Also, I'm just gonna mention that I was in a Boy Scout, and it was a Catholic Boy Scout troop, which
make your jokes here.
Make your jokes here. But yeah, continue.
All right, so basically, I was in Boy Scouts and the predecessor group Cub Scouts.
So was I, by the way.
I think I did 1 year of Boy Scout. I did all the Cub Scouts and I think half a year of Boy Scouts.
That was basically me.
Anyway, I think I forget it was either Boy Scouts or Cub Scouts. But what happened was we went out camping one time. It was a fun camping trip. Everything was normal. We had fun times. We got firewood. We learned how to make tents. We made s'mores. We told stories. It was all fun and It was all fun and dandy. I had a good time. My dad was there. But what happened was, out of nowhere, and to this day, I will always remember this story. We were like at the campfire, and then someone says, "Who's that?" And we look around, and there's a log a couple of feet away from us, and there's this young kid looking at us. He sees us and then runs off into the forest.
That's weird.
But it doesn't get just weirder there. All right, so I'll tell you what I think else I saw that night. So when we were we were sitting on the campfire, and then you know what we see over the horizon?
What?
People coming our way with torches and matching uniforms.
Oh, were they white?
I don't remember. Could have been. We went to I don't remember what they were wearing, but I do remember they were kind of all dressed in unison, and they had torches. And I remember one of the persons like, I think we should go to bed now. Let's take the kids and go to bed. So we all go back to our tents, and we just go to we were going to bed. But all I can just see from the outline of the tent is people walking by with torches. Yeah, I don't know if it was it could have been something with Boy Scouts, or we could have found a different meeting that night.
Yeah. Oh, this is a good story. This actually happened to my dad, and if you were to ask him, he would agree with you. So one night, because this was back in California, and what my dad would normally do is that I have younger brothers, and when they would stay up, when they would be up night and crying because when they were kids they would cry a lot because that's what babies do. And what my dad would do normally is he would take them out and take them for a drive around the block to basically calm them down, put them back to sleep. So this one night, he was driving around the peninsula towards like around the beaches and driving around the peninsula, and he was getting towards a beach called the Silomar Beach, and he started seeing a bunch of people huddled around in a circle, and there's a bonfire, and it was a real, like, you would thought, oh, it's probably a beach bonfire. But if you would have looked closely, it did not look like a beach bonfire. It kind of looked like, he said to me, it looked like it was a cult meeting. Like they were, like it was a cult initiation or something like that. And out of nowhere, a car pops up behind him and it starts tailing him for like a good, like 2 or 3 miles. Like every single turn that he would take, it would follow him. Like, you know, the rule where it was like you turn right 3 times and see if you go in a circle and see if they're still following you. Well, that he did something similar to that, and the car was still following him. And to this day, he has no clue what that was. It was he told me.
That's fucking creepy, man.
Yeah. And you can ask him that. Like the next time you see him, ask him that, and he will tell you the exact same story that I told you, because it was one of those weird, creepy things. Like, yeah.
That is fucking bizarre.
Oh, bringing up another story from that school. So there was this thing that we used to do. Like, it was a yearly thing where it'd be a 5K run. It would be an annual 5K thing. You'd be running for charity. You'd run from one part of the peninsula to the other. It was a 5K. And every year it would be held down. Well, usually there would be spokesmen that would do it, and they would come to the school and advertise it. Well, this one year, there's this man named, there's this dude, and he went by the name T-Bone. And if that doesn't give away what he was like, well, let me blatantly spell it out for you. This dude shows up to school in a nice suit and tie, and he was like, "Hey guys, are you excited for the 5K?" And we were like, "Yeah, we're excited." And he's like, "Okay, let me show you how excited I am and how I'm getting into the spirit." Dude rips off the clothes and he's in tight-fitting spandex where you can see everything. And when I mean everything, you could see everything. And he's like, "All right, I'm excited because he's like, "All right, I feel good."
The fuck? What the fuck?
Let's get ready for this 5K because I feel good. And he said it exactly like that.
We let Jared Fogle teach a bunch of kids.
And he walked around, he would start running around the kids, start giving kids high fives and stuff like that. And just generally being really, really fucking creepy. And yeah, the school hired him and he would be the spokesperson that would come and speak to the elementary school kids.
I have several questions.
Yes, let's hear.
Number one, why? Number two, why? And number three, what the fuck?
Yeah, dude just rips off the suit and tie that he's wearing into spandex and says, "I feel good." It was real fucking creepy. Like, I still remember to this day, like, he's a joke between our family, like an in-joke.
You feel good, dun-na-na-na-na-na. No, sorry.
But yeah, dude's real fucking creepy. His name was T-Bone. And ever since then, I've been trying to look him up, and I've never found him.
Probably on a sex offenders list.
Probably. I wouldn't be surprised, because dude was real fucking creepy. But yeah, do you got any other stories for us?
Oh, I have plenty of stories. You know me. Alright, no, I can't tell that one. That's kind of pretty bad. Oh, I know one. This is from elementary school. This is not that serious, but I do remember that this is one like a vague memory, but I do remember it. It's from my preschool actually. It's probably a pretty early memory. Um, I was we were on there was like a mountain or a hill like there's a hill of sand, a small hill of sand, and we were like playing King of the Hill. And I remember this one kid was like pushing everyone off like harder than everyone else. Everyone's like, "Stop this!" I remember I was able to sneak up behind him and shove him down. Well, he ran to the teacher and told on me, and then I remember I had to sit out for the rest of class because of it.
Oh, that reminds me of something similar. There's this. Okay, so like I said, the school was like very, very, very strict, and you basically couldn't do anything you wanted to do. So there was this one time before school where a bunch of kids, including me, got together and decided to play a pickup basketball game because we were bored. The beginning of school is pretty boring. There's nothing to do, so we decided to play a pickup basketball game. And what happened was the PE teachers, they didn't like that because how PE worked is, and this is probably how it worked with a lot of schools' PE curriculums, is that they had a curriculum. They would cycle through games. Like first they teach you how to play Foursquare, then they teach you how to play basketball.
Foursquare was amazing. I remember the fights we started over that.
Yeah. So how it worked is they teach you Foursquare, then they teach you basketball, then they teach you football, yada yada yada. So what happened is they caught us playing a pickup game of basketball, and they got angry at us. So they called over a yellow jacket, which are basically the field, like think of them as basically prison guards. They would be these people on the playground. It would basically you get if they saw you doing something that you didn't like, they'd blow their whistle and they'd call you over and then get you in trouble.
You could have just said like watchers or sub teachers, but no, you went for prison guards.
Well, besides the point, they called one of those over and we had to stop the game, and we had to go over there and we asked them, what did we do wrong? And the PE teacher said, we didn't teach you how to play basketball yet, so the fact that you're playing a basketball game, that is wrong, and we're going to get you in trouble. So we're like, that's unfair. We know how to play a pickup game of basketball. We're just having fun, and plus school hasn't even begun yet. So why are you punishing us? It's like, we didn't teach you how to play basketball, and I can't believe you're talking back to us. You're going to get into more trouble. So what was our punishment? Oh, you may think, oh, we sat out for like one recess or something like that. No. Our punishment was no recess for an entire week.
The humanity.
And also when people said when they said we're gonna teach you how to play basketball, they never taught us. So we got in trouble for a bullshit reason.
It sounds like you're still upset to this day.
We lost PE, and yeah, I'm kind of a little upset.
Yeah, you sound like you're still having like vitriol over this. Like I bet that people don't even work there anymore.
Well, the one PE teacher's dead due to health complications, and the other dude doesn't work there anymore. So yeah, but yeah, that was a story that I remembered, that I remember vividly.
Yeah,
I got another story, but I'm willing to let you tell one.
I was just gonna say like I can't really think of some other stories that were like that significant that don't just sound like something a normal child would do.
Well, I mean, I did have a story where I did try to hop the fence in school and run home.
Oh, I remember a story. That did remind me of something. We said fence. So I remember I went to like when my like first couple years of school, I went to a private school before I went to a public school.
Yeah.
And I remember at this one school I went to, we were like, so these two private schools were right next to each other. One side was our school, the other side was this other school, just like a hardcore Catholic school. And I remember, like, we would, like, when it was recess time, we would always go up to the fence, and so the other kids would be there, too. And I remember, one day, the kids on the other side, the other school, started tossing rocks at us. And I remember, it hit one kid in the head. I did remember that. Like, he did have to go be taken away for it. But they started just tossing rocks at us.
But for, like, no reason?
Yeah, no reason. Like, I don't know why they did. But it wasn't like a playful toss. It was like vitriol, like, we hate you, go away. And it was just really weird. And like, it was like, I was in kindergarten or first grade. And I was never hit, but I did remember that. It was wild.
Yeah, going off the story of where I tried to hop the fence, just basically me and my friend had an idea where if we can jump the fence in school, we'd be able to go to my house and play video games. Well, we decided to walk behind the classroom because we thought, oh, they're never gonna see us. We can easily hop the fence. So we were started climbing. I went first. I made it my leg halfway up. Then my friend just decides to bail on me, and I was questioning why he did that, and then a few seconds later, I see a teacher walk by and said, "Hey, what are you doing?" And I got in trouble because it looked like because I was trying to hop the fence and escape school, and I had to go and waste a couple recesses writing an essay why I shouldn't do that. But yeah, that's pretty much all the school stories that I have. I've completely worn the.
I remember.
Well,
I remember one thing. Like I got really in trouble because I was basically just a young child. Yeah, I was. It was. This is I think my final school story because this is an elementary school story, and I feel like we shouldn't just keep going on about our high school stories. This was, and I have a bunch of actually good favors of later elementary school, but it went. I think it was in first grade, and I remember. I was a normal young child. I heard that. Well, I forget the kid's name. It's been such a long time. But I remember. I'm just gonna call one. Let's gonna call one. I don't know, Ashley, and this other kid. His name fucking Gary. I don't know. Well, basically, Ashley liked Gary. We were like in elementary school, and there was like a playful kid crush. They had one. Like, Ashley likes Gary. And I went like, Ashley likes Gary. Ashley likes Gary. Ashley has a crush on Gary. Like, I was that kid. And then, I don't know why, like, that made the kids mad, obviously. Like, I was teasing them. We were all kids. She gets upset. But, like, basically, like, but then they took it, like, way too far. I remember this part, like, I overheard them, like, they're gonna get me back for it. They're gonna get me for like revealing that secret, that well hidden secret. The fact like they were in like the recess drawing a heart next to one another.
yeah.
Basically, I went over and like so they then said like in front of me they're gonna on Monday they're gonna bring guns to shoot me. On Tuesday they're gonna bring knives to stab me.
Damn.
Yeah, I know. Damn, like that escalated real quickly, and like we're in first grade. I'm like, oh shit. Obviously, I didn't say that, but
Well, yeah, you act because at that time you actually think they're probably gonna do it.
Yeah, I was like all nervous, but then to make matters worse, one of the kids goes to the teacher and they tell me like, oh, like AJ's being rude to us. He said so and so. They revealed a crush. Like the principal comes and takes me, and like I have to go to the principal's office, sit down. They're like, well, you know why you're here? It's like because you were making fun of other students, and that's not allowed. I said, well, they said they were going to stab me on Tuesday and bring guns to school. And they're like, whoa, that's not good. I'm like, yes, that's not good. Well, still, you shouldn't have been saying that, like, so-and-so has a crush on another one. That's the most important matter here. You can't go around and say that you're not allowed to go do that. That you understand that's hurtful to other people, completely glossing over the fact that I just said that they said they were going to shoot me.
Yeah.
Shoot me dead. And that today, I still remember that, like, wow, thanks a lot, assholes.
Yeah. You want to continue? Want to get to the Reddit stories, or do you want to end it here?
No, Reddit stories, obviously. We're not going to can't Reddit stories and not do it.
All right, let's do some.
Ask him Reddit.
Let's do some Reddit stories. So
we're going to play the game. Did this actually happen? Yes or no?
All right, so.
Well, the answer is always no. It's Reddit.
So here's the first story. Both my parents died of cancer this year, AMA. Last November, my mom was diagnosed with stage 4 skin cancer in a few days.
Maybe not that one. That sounds sad, Sean. Okay. Maybe not that one. Like, of all the ones you had to do, that one, you had to choose the cancer one. Damn you, Sean.
Fine. I went on a date with a girl, and then she left after eating. AMI asked me anything. I'm 20, and I'm currently trying to date, but it is very hard since I'm very short, 5'6". And in my state, guys seem to be really tall. And it doesn't help that short guys are getting trashed on pretty hard on TikTok. I ended up matching with a girl. We started talking, and eventually she asked for my height. I told her and was expecting her to stop talking to me, but she didn't. we stepped up a date, and I was really nervous, but also excited because I haven't been on a date before, so this was my first. I made sure to look nice and picked a really nice restaurant. When she arrived, things felt off. She wasn't engaging in the conversations and seemed disinterested. Uh, uh, about after 30 minutes of me trying to keep the conversation going, she excused herself to the bathroom and never came back. It was pretty expensive meal too. Seeing tall guys around campus and relationships makes me feel like I've never get to experience that. I don't feel good about myself. Am I ask me about anything about dating struggles and how I'm coping with it.
Yeah, I feel like this didn't go to plan, but yeah, like, I don't know about this one. Maybe it's real. I don't know.
Okay.
I feel like there has to be a sub. Let's go on r/nice guys. That's fun. Or r/atheist.
r/nice.
Guys, that's always fun. r/.
Okay. That it didn't go as well.
r/nice guys.
Y'all don't like the good guy that doesn't like. Okay.
Then go to r/atheism.
You know, that's always a good one.
Yeah.
r/atheism. Huh. Half of Brits think church should be separate from state. 61% think bishops should lose House of Lords seat.
I look for one that's them explaining their stories.
I think Christianity is a cult. Am I wrong? A death cult. Am I wrong? Because no matter what a person dies from, it's always because of God's will, even if it was preventable, such as a woman not dying of sepsis because of yada 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 blah 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 or whatever else could have been preventable death. I'm editing to add. I also think it is a death cult because people think they will automatically go to heaven no matter what. So it's okay to die. They die, or that the people that are in their lives that died and went to heaven, so that it's not so hard to deal with their death. Catholicism is cannibalistic death cult, eating the flesh and drinking the blood of Christ, their Savior. Worship saints. You have to be dead to be proclaimed a saint. Yada yada yada. Blah blah blah. All these rely little bits of bones of the dead. Yep, sounds like a death cult to me. All these relics, little bits of bones of dead people. The Epiphany was what pushed me to atheism. I mean, the symbols of their faith, it is a torture device.
No, damn. I feel you should look for some that are like that Reddit. There's a bunch of what happened at me at this church one day. This person said God bless you, but then I hit them with facts and logic and they exploded. Like there's shit like that like there's obviously. I feel like how do we Reddit is ripe for this stuff. I don't know how we're not finding any because there's so many stuff on Reddit that's basically r/did not happen. Like I know that stuff they can document a lot of things there, and I don't know how we're not being able to find it. There's so many fake stories.
I think we're really kind of running dry. I mean,
here's an idea. Look up since we've been talking about school stories. Look up Reddit school stories.
Yeah, let me look that up. r/Reddit school stories. That probably has a bunch of great stuff.
Or just look up anything with Reddit and you think there's going to be something fake about Reddit bad experiences at.
Yeah.
Craziest thing that happened at your school. Some person put, some dude shot himself in the parking lot in front of his girlfriend.
Wait, what?
Yeah, that's like one of the first comments, top comment. with like a bunch of Reddit karma.
Class clown bad stunt.
Talk about class clown, like Reddit stories.
Yeah, here we go. So basically, when I was 6 years old, the class clown, let's call him Tom. So Tom loved to get attention, was kind of a bully if you don't laugh at his jokes. So day one, the teacher leaves to get something from the printer. So Tom has a idea. Tom jumps on one of the tables, starts jumping on it, trying, saying it's not gonna break, and Tom could do a backflip pretty good. And Tom gets ready to perform a backflip, and some kid's trying to be funny, pulls the table away mid backflip, and Tom's feet touches the table, which makes him go sideways and smash into another table. And seconds later, the teacher comes in, and his leg is broken pretty bad, and the kid who moved the table is expelled for 3 days. Tom got extra homework for damaging school property because 2 weeks later the table got jumped on, just somehow broke. Pretty funny, just working, then your table splits in half.
Man, you read that horribly. But yeah, that I feel like that could have happened. I don't believe it. I'm reading this Ask a Reddit. It's like, one kid stole another kid's skateboard, so he went home, got a sword, and returned to school to get the skateboard back.
School stabbing.
School stabbing.
So basically, it was a Tuesday in infotech, learning about but you hear some 3 ambulance and a police car pull up into a lockdown, kids screaming, so scared, yada yada yada. A few minutes later, till we hear the teachers talking to another teacher in a second period, infotech laying out. I asked my mate what happened, then I go for a pee next to the bathroom. I see blood everywhere and 5 policemen saying don't come in. Next day, found out this lad in front of the bathroom, most popular spot in school at the time of this happening, pulled out a knife, went up to his bully, proceeded to stab him 5 times in the stomach, twice in the thigh, and 1 in the neck and the arm, and fled out of the school to the train station. Got it pretty scared.
Man, you can't read for the life of you. You have no energy in the way you read. But yeah, not gonna lie, I probably think that's fake. Not gonna.
Well, I have a hard time articulating what I read.
Yeah, you sound so bored, out of your mind, like, and yeah, then he stabbed some person in his jugular. Yeah, oh, fuck, you killed me. But yeah, you still.
Oh, whatever.
There's a war on Reddit. Like, I was gonna say look up some Karen story, but I feel like that's died in 2019.
I think we're running towards the end of our talk, so I think we should probably end it because I think we've ran out of
stories. Yeah, and that sucks because there's so many good Reddit stories.
We just can't find any, so
because we were so inept. I think we should have found it beforehand. I definitely think that would have been smarter.
All right, well, let's just end it because.
Oh, wait. Do you want to talk about the Reddit and the Holocaust survivor?
I think we save that for the Reddit story, the Reddit video that we do.
Oh, you want to do an entire Reddit video?
Yeah, I think Reddit's deep enough for us to be able to do an entire video on
just Reddit stories. Yeah, just talking about subreddits.
Yeah,
that is true.
I think we should do that. So I think we should just end this right
before
here.
we end. Do you want to have one last story to wrap it up?
All right, you cap it off, AJ.
I get to cap it off.
Yeah.
Me. Oh, you're so kind, Jonathan.
Yes. No. Go ahead and tell
All right, I'm going to tell a story. A story I've never told anyone. This one I'm kind of ashamed of. But again, I was a child. And your brother should watch out about this too. So when I was a younger man, whenever I went over to my friends' houses, he had a large collection of Legos. Very good, large Legos, fancy sets. He could afford a lot of Legos. And when he was never looking, I would take his Legos and put them down my pants.
What the fuck?
Not like that. No, it's to steal them. I was stealing them. Not fucking sexually. Get that out of your head, you fucking degenerate. Basically, I would take the Legos, put them in. I wasn't smart enough to put them in my pockets. I'd put it in my waistband, and just go home with them in my waistband.
Did you take minifigures?
Yeah, I'd take minifigures. I would steal minifigures from him, and I think to this day he never figured it out.
Do you still have them?
No, I think I sold them like a long time back. But to this day, I bet he's like wondering where they are, and if he, I do feel bad about this. Don't get me wrong. I was yeah, I know stealing's bad. No shit. I was in elementary school. I was in the 3rd grade, so it's not like. It's not like I'm doing this now. It's not like I met him last week and shoved a fucking Lego minifigure down my ass. But
in your prison wallet.
In my prison wallet. But no, I was putting in my like pants and just would go home and feel so smug about having no pity. But like growing up now, I bet like to this day I bet he thought like he lost those Lego minifigures and didn't know where they were. I never told him, and imagine this is how he finds out. And I don't have to even say his name. He knows who he is. That's my wild Lego adventure.
Are you still in contact with him?
No.
Okay.
I mean, he was many grades older. I think he has a job now. I think he already graduated college. So I would even meet him. I think I don't even know where he is. Nor do I. I think he's a pilot now.
Oh wow, that's interesting.
Pretty good for him. I don't know if I met him. I'm surprised I don't think he would care, or maybe he would. I don't know. I'm positive he doesn't have the Legos now, since I'm pretty sure he's 25 now.
Well, you know, kids nowadays can't give up their toys.
Yeah, that's true.
I shouldn't be talking.
Yeah, you shouldn't be talking, dude. You have an entire bedroom full of that shit.
Well, whatever. Besides the point. Let's end this video out right. So let's do a little bit of acapella.
Yeah, you read my mind, man.
All
1,
right.
2, 3. Goodbye. This has been the Sellouts with
Sean
and AJ and Jameson. Ain't that right, Jameson? Special cameo.
Yeah, what up, Jameson? Hey guys, I've been here the entire time, and well, I couldn't really talk because I was with my good friend Carlos.
My good friend Carlos.
Hey, yo, man, how you doing?
All right, this is the Sellouts.
This is Sellouts. Goodbye.
Goodbye.